Coming to you live from quarantine, this is your movie quiz for Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the movie quiz, part of the Trivia List network of games. I am your host, Chris Mann-Nelson, and in just a couple minutes, I am going to be asking you 4 rounds of movie trivia. This is a completely interactive show, so you don't have to just watch the game. You can actually get involved. All you got to do is head to this website here, tmq.thetrivialist.com, and you can be part of this game. You can win it even if you know enough stuff. So it's a completely free game to play. You don't have to pay. There's no buy-in. Tips are always greatly appreciated. The suggested donation of just like a couple bucks per player would really go a long way to helping us keep the game running, pay for some of the bills. This show incurs massive bills. Not really, but it does help us if you can just throw a couple bucks in the tip jar, Venmo, credit card. It's all on the website there. So playing along with you tonight, I'm very excited for tonight's guest. He is a writer, a comedian, a performer. He's done lots of work. He did work. He was, I can't speak. I'm sorry. He did lots of work on the Chris Gethard Show. He's also in the upcoming independent film Lapsus. Please welcome to the show, Dru Johnston. Dru, hello.
Hi, how are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being on the show. It's good to see you.
Yeah. My head is so much bigger than yours. I just I need to back up, just like a camera angle thing.
It's not the camera. You've grown. You've gotten very large during quarantine.
This is it.
So while we wait for people to file in and show up and sign up on that website there, Dru, you told me when in our preparation for the show that your favorite movie for a long time, that it may still be your favorite movie, the verdict is out, is Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, you better believe it.
So what is it about Moulin Rouge that really speaks to you?
You know, I first saw it in high school, and I was a real sucker for I think honestly musicals, and also for real cheesiness. And I mean, I remember watching it the first 30 minutes. I was like, what the hell is going on? And by the end, I was like crying. I think every time I watched it,
you're completely into it. See, I remember, I feel like my standards were much more like oddly rigid when I was younger. That came out when I was in, I think like a freshman in college. And I was like, I just couldn't for some reason get around the anachronistic use of music. For some reason I couldn't reconcile that in my head. I was like, I can't deal with this film.
I think that's a fair.
Yeah. Now I feel like I'd be fine with that.
I would totally be. I mean, honestly, I was watching it. I would defend it like for a long time. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Yes, it is art. Thank you, Sylvester Stallone. It is art because it's them singing Nirvana in like 1920s Paris going crazy. It's not even 1920s, it's 1890s. I can't remember when it's even said. I haven't seen it in so long. Now, my friend Brandon has told me that if I rewatch it now, I will very much regret that I say this is my favorite movie because I haven't seen it in like 8 years. Yeah. So he's like,
I don't remember it well enough to know what might not have aged as well on that.
I think Brandon always hated it. So I think he just thinks that my tastes have improved since I've known Brandon. I don't know if that's actually the case, but I don't think that is the case.
I mean, I guess the idea behind, because other movies, I think it was one of the first that used anachronistic music, but the idea was to sort of like put you in the headspace of like, instead of just playing a song that just sounds like a song from 1890 just sounds like whatever to us. It gave you context as to like what, like the vibe of the Moulin Rouge in that time, to play like well-known songs from the last, I guess Nirvana would have been about 10 years old at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. Is it the melodrama? Were you a fan of the melodrama?
I love melodrama. I also
Yeah.
loved. I mean, I studied Shakespeare in college, and I loved Shakespeare. So I loved all of Baz Luhrmann's stuff, like Romeo and Juliet. And then going into that, I was like, oh yes, another Shakespearean tale.
Yeah, you're primed. I think Romeo and Juliet really did prime a lot of people for Moulin Rouge. Like it was because it was a few years before. It kind of like it had a great soundtrack. It had that Baz Luhrmann vibe, and then people were like, "Yes, give me more of that." And with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor.
Yes, and who plays Jim Broadbent is the guy who does the hat thing. Yeah,
yes, and I think that was where I remember kind of tuning out because like he's singing Nirvana. I think Jim Broadbent's like singing Nirvana in very like elaborate makeup, and I was like, 19-year-old me was like, I don't know, this is not for me, but is Dru talking about Moulin Rouge again?
Yes. I will always love Moulin Rouge. I will also, this is very embarrassing. I did not know the song Your Song by Elton John until I thought they wrote that song for Moulin Rouge. And I was like, what a great song. And then when I found out it was Elton John, for the first 5 years, I would hear Elton John song and be like, it's not the same as Ewan McGregor's version. And now I realize that's insane.
Sir Elton is really butchering this Ewan McGregor classic.
Yeah. How dare they? Oh my God! When Kurt Cobain covered "Here We Are Now Entertainers" from Moulin Rouge, no good.
It's sacrilege. All right, so I think we're going to we're gonna get the game going here. Important I'll mention it later for anybody joining. If anyone joins late, you can actually put your answers in, sign up in between rounds, and all your answers will count. But I'll talk about that. Because everybody here is probably signed up. If you haven't signed up, hurry up, do it, get in the game. So we got 17 teams here ready to play now. Let's put it into, I know people get excited when I say in-game mode. I'm putting it into in-game mode. And we're going to get rolling with your first round of the night. I posted something about this on Instagram earlier today. In fact, if you want to follow me, my trivia account on Instagram, at Trivia Man on Instagram, I give away clues. I give away little hints about the rounds. And if you had followed, you would have seen that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't tell you guys the rules. There's a couple of quick ground rules. Real quick. Don't cheat. Don't look anything up. Don't use Google, IMDb. Don't put answers in the chat, please. And also play with friends over Zoom or Google Hangouts, but keep your team size reasonable, like 4 or 5 people. Okay, so now back to describing the rules of the first round. It's actor by repeated word. So I'm going to give you a number of movie titles in one actor. And actor is here on the game is a non-gender term. Could be anybody. I just say actor. All of these movies will be in one actor's filmography, but they all have a word in common. Like, so if I were to say The Secret in Their Eyes and Eyes Wide Shut, that would be Moulin Rouge's own Nicole Kidman. She was in both of those movies with eyes in the title. All right, so here we go. Your first question of the night. The movies with words in common are 12 Monkeys, 12 Years a Slave, and Ocean's 12. This was actually the one that I posted on Instagram.
All right. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know this one. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to submit answer.
I wanted to start it off. Everybody so far who has submitted has gotten it right. So I wanted it's doing what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to be some get you off on a solid footing here. So all of those movies were starring Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was in all of those movies. Also, I should note 82% got it right. Nicely done. And I think you can just you can put last names only for this round. You could put full name, last name. That's also fine. All right.
I put Bradley Pitt. Is Bradley
Pitt? That's that's for those of us who truly care about him. That is use his full name. All right. Question number 2. The movies are Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Okay, I think. Okay, I know the first three, but I haven't. I've never seen any of the before movies, so this is a wild guess based on who I think is in those.
Who you think is? Let me see. You got it right. You got it right, Drew. Nicely done. Now, for the most part, this is the only case in this round where I put sequels in, because the before movies have different titles from each other. It's not like X1, X2, X3. And he's also in Before the Devil Knows You're Dead with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke is in all of those before movies. All right, question number 3. If These Walls Could Talk Too, and If Beale Street Could Talk. There's just 2 movies in there, but the titles are very similar. If These Walls Could Talk Too, and If Beale Street Could Talk. There's a lot of conditional talking in this person's filmography.
These are big questions too. Big questions about things that could talk. Yeah.
If they could. Do the movies answer what would happen if these things could talk? We don't know. 3 teams got this right. If These Walls Could Talk Too was actually an HBO movie from like the early 2000s, I think. If Beale Street Could Talk starred, I believe she won an Academy Award for this, Regina King.
Yes.
Regina King is in both of those. Oh, you were one of the 3 teams, Drew. I didn't notice that. Nicely done. You are 3 for 3.
Oh my gosh. This is the best I've ever done in a trivia game.
And I also want to remind everybody, Drew is playing by himself. So like he is a team unto himself. So that going 3 for 3, you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, I just watched One Night in Miami a week ago that Regina King directed, and it was really good. Right. I really loved it.
That's right. All right, question number 4. Your movies are American Hustle, American Sniper, Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh no.
American Hustle, American Sniper, Wet Hot American Summer.
I saw American Sniper in the theater with 5 other people at a 2 p.m. showing at the Chelsea Theater on 23rd and 8th. It was the last movie I needed to see that year.
Oh, for Best Picture?
Yeah, I was trying to watch all the movies that year, and that was the only one I hadn't seen, so I went by myself.
I still haven't seen it. I try to get all the nominees into. I was telling you too that last week when Matt was here, I did like what movie won by what the other movies that it lost, and you probably would have done well, because
this was Birdman. I know this was Birdman because I think this year was American Sniper
2014. That sounds Birdman won 2014. I know that. These movies all star Bradley Pitt, and Bradley Cooper. So many Brads in this round. All right, we're at the halfway mark of this round. Here comes question number 5. Your movies are Cadillac Man, Bicentennial Man, Man of the Year, and Angriest Man in Brooklyn. Cadillac Man, Bicentennial Man, Man of the Year, and Angriest Man in Brooklyn. 4 man movies.
I have never heard of that last movie.
It's late in this person's filmography.
Okay.
It's right towards the end of it's like one of the last 3 or 4 movies that I can say the timer's run out, so I can say it is Robin Williams. It's Robin Williams. And I should say now, for anybody joining late, if you're watching, you can still join the game, put your answers in, and then I'm going to set it so that you can sign up in between rounds, and any questions that you log right now will count. So keep playing even if you're late, and then you can join. All right, question number 6. Everyone says I love you. I love trouble. Eat, pray, love. Love is your common bond here. Everyone says I love you. I love trouble, and eat, pray, love.
Oh no. This is wrong. This is wrong.
You're on the right track, Drew.
Okay.
You're on the right track.
Because everyone's.
They're both respected actresses. They've been in at least one movie together. Their age, they're separated by some years, but their status is kind of similar. It's Julia Roberts.
Oh,
Julia Roberts was in all of these movies.
I said Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. I mean, like they're like their acting style is not the same, but like they're Hollywood royalty kind of status. Number 7, your movies are Bringing Down the House, House Party 2, and House of Bodies. Bringing Down the House, House Party 2, and House of Bodies. I'm gonna say this is the hardest one of the round. This is probably
mine's a guess based on House Party 2. That's what I'm looking at.
House Party 2 is definitely I'd say the way I'd say House Party 2 is probably your best way into this question. But you have to remember that Bringing Down the House was from the early 2000s, the movie starring Steve Martin, Eugene Levy, and Queen Latifah.
Oh.
Queen Latifah. So you are on the right track with an early 90s rapper who transitioned to acting.
I said Ice Cube.
I said Ice Cube. Yeah, but you knew it was a rapper because and House Party 2, I think, is where they like got so many more cameos. They got like a ton of other rappers in that one. And question number 8, this is your last question of round 1. Should be a pretty end on a make is how I like to think of it. Saving Private Ryan and Saving Mr. Banks. This person loves saving stuff.
Oh, wait, is that right? Oh, no. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I don't know.
You had second thoughts about your...
I did.
Nothing but correct answers. So I think you've gotten it.
I got worried because I thought Banks rhymes with it. Hanks. That's who it is. Yeah,
it is. He did another saving movie and he rhymed it with it. Saving Mr. Banks, Saving Mr. Hanks. One day someone will do a Hanks movie because it's gonna loop itself where someone's gonna play Tom Hanks in a movie. It's bound to happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at your standings as we head in after one round. We've got a lot of teams with 6. I've never seen a movie. I don't know movies, and I'm only half paying attention. You're paying attention 3/4 because you've gotten 3/4 of them right. Chris, the Hawn sisters, Dru Trivia, Dru himself with 6, and leading the way with 8, a perfect 8. Is Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts. So I am going to, if you joined late and you wanted to sign up now's the time. Put in your email, put in your team name. While we talk about Dru, you are in the movie. I believe it's out. It's available for rent now.
Yeah, it's available on Film Movement and on demand on like Apple and iTunes. It's called Lapsus. It's an indie sci-fi movie, which is directed and written by Noah Hutton, and it's great. It's very fun. It's a lot of trekking in the woods, which is nice. I spent a few weeks worried that I was getting bit by ticks. I went to the doctor. I think twice, being like, I have to have Lyme disease. I know I have Lyme disease.
You gotta look out for that bullseye rash.
Yes,
but no Lyme disease.
No Lyme disease. I was Lyme free. It turns out I convinced myself I had Lyme disease, and it turns out I was just a little. I mean, to quote Wayne's World, I was just a little bored. I think that was it.
Have you ever? This is very off topic for a movie show, but have you ever actually been bitten by a tick?
No, I've never been bitten by a tick because I grew up in Seattle, and I don't think there were many ticks in the Pacific Northwest. So I never been bitten by one.
Yeah, I didn't get bitten by one until I was like 29. And I was like, I was hiking with my wife's been like bitten, but you just like, you yank them off. And then if you get them in time, it's not like, it's really not a problem. But I was like freaking out. I was like taking a million pictures and like sending it. I was like, is this a tick?
We went to one, I went to one wedding. It was a woods wedding. It was like a camp wedding. And we went hiking before the wedding, and me and my friend Keith got back, and we both just like monkeys in a zoo. We're just like searching each other for ticks for like a full 30 minutes afterwards because we were paranoid we got bit. It was terrible.
It is the kind of thing though that like once it happens, it like because I was freaked out forever about being bitten, and then it happened, and I was just like, oh, okay, I know what to do now. I hate to leave the topic of ticks because I feel like the show has maybe hit a new gear in its life. But Jane says that they have seen Lapsus, and it's good.
Oh, great! Yeah, we. Thank you for watching. That's great. I really loved it. We rented it a few days ago, and it was great to watch. I've got one line which I'm very excited about, but I'm in it for a lot, just staring silently for a good portion of it.
Acting with your face. Acting is reacting. So that's so that brings us to this is going to bring us to round 2, which is our picture round. So I'm trying something new with the picture round tonight. It is going to be a mystery theme. So I am going to show you this one. I'm going back to a old school 10 question round. It'll be 9 pictures and then a question at the end about what ties them all together. So I'm going to show you pictures from biopics, and you're going to name the real person who is being portrayed. You're going to name not the actor, not the movie, but the person who is the subject of it. And if there's multiple people, sometimes I'll want one specific person. Sometimes either is fine. All right. So here is your first picture. Who is this first person here?
The spelling count?
No, spelling does not count.
Great.
That is an important point. Spelling doesn't count, and last name is also fine for these.
I don't think I've seen this movie, but I guess I'm just guessing based on what she looks like.
Yeah, the look. So far, everybody who's submitted has gotten it right. The movie is My Week with Marilyn. That's Michelle Williams, the celebrated actor. I just said it. I use non-gendered terms, and I'm breaking it. It's Marilyn Monroe. She's played Marilyn Monroe in this movie. All right, person number 2. Name the subject.
Oh, nice.
Of this movie. Who is that?
Oh, nice. I mean, it's not from Moulin Rouge, but this could just be
it's a spiritual. Yeah, it has. Yeah. It shares an energy with Moulin Rouge for sure. Let me just make sure. Let me regrade a couple people who knew who it was, but just the spelling was a little off. Sorry, there's a lot of people. This person's name is tricky, so I have to correct a couple of these for some people who got it right. There's no first name or last name really for this one because it's just Liberace. It's Liberace. That's Behind the Candelabra. That's Michael Douglas as Liberace there. I think his real name, he obviously he had a real first name. I think it was Lee.
Yeah, it was Lee, and then his last name was Barachi, right?
Lee Barachi. Yeah. He just shortened it for show business.
Yeah.
All right. Person number 3. Who is in this movie? Again, the subject of the movie, not the actor.
Oh God. I have no idea.
You can kind of feel out by like by the just the vibe and where he's sitting, what he's sitting in.
Okay, I just guessed, but it's not even a name.
Remember Lobster Guy?
Yeah, this is the guy who wrote Remember the Lobster. I don't know.
No, this was very close, Drew. Very close. It's James Dean.
Oh, yes, very different.
That's James Franco as James Dean. There's a few TV movies in here, but after 2020, the lines are invisible. So a movie's a movie, as far as I'm concerned. All right, your next person, number 4. And this one has an arrow. So this one I need specifically who the arrow is pointing to. I can't take either name. I need the one that the arrow is pointing to.
Oh shoot! I think I right when I submitted it, I was like, I think I was wrong. I think I know who it is, but I'm oops. Oh well, it was fun.
You were right. You were right.
Great.
And you can. I'll tell you if you're right. I probably won't tell you if you're wrong, because you can change your answer before time runs out. If you can get it, you can resubmit your answer. So that was from the. This is another TV movie actually, directed by Billy Crystal. It's 61, about the home run race between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
Great.
I'm looking for Mickey Mantle in this one. I need Mickey Mantle.
I thought it might be Lou Gehrig the second after I wrote Mickey Mantle. I was
yeah.
Is it Lou Gehrig?
I should say I should have said this up top, but I'll recap who we've because there's a mystery theme and something ties this together. You might want to jot these down somewhere. Yeah. So maybe that's on a piece of paper or in a Google Doc somewhere. So far, I'll recap it because I should have said that earlier. My apologies. We've got Marilyn Monroe, Liberace, James Dean, and Mickey Mantle. All right. Question number 5. Person number 5. Either person is good for this one.
Oh, okay.
Who are the real people in this scene? Either one. No arrows.
I think I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I got this one. But this is who I think it is. The guy doesn't look like who I think he's supposed to be. But I don't know if this is who I think it is.
Let me see what you put in. No, you are incorrect, Drew. You are incorrect.
Oh wait. Oh, it's Julia Childs, right?
That's Al Pacino. This is from Angels in America.
Oh.
He's playing Roy Cohn. He's playing the lawyer, Roy Cohn, and that is Meryl Streep. A lot of people seem to be on the right path with Meryl Streep, but she's playing Ethel Rosenberg. She haunts Roy Cohn on his deathbed. Question number 6. Here comes number 6. This one does have an arrow. Oh. So I need specifically the person that the arrow is pointing to.
I've never known an answer faster. This is speaking of my knowledge of I love musicals and I love Moulin Rouge. This is exactly the thing that I love.
This was I'll take that. Because last name is fine for this, but I am specifically looking for that. That is from Evita. Madonna's playing Evita Perón. I was looking for Juan Perón. The arrow is pointing to Juan Perón. All right, question number 7. Person number 7. Who is that?
Oh.
Who is the subject of this movie?
Oh, no. I know. Oh, I know this. Why do I know? No. The nerd.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything while you're in that zone of focused recall. Oh man.
Oh, I know because I've seen this movie. Gary Busey, and he's playing.
Andrew's cheering you on. I don't know if he's cheering you on or antagonizing you. It's Ford, so he's probably antagonizing you. Yeah. That is Gary Busey playing Buddy Holly.
Oh,
the Buddy Holly story. Okay, confirmed antagonizing from Andrew.
That's fine. Because I kept thinking I knew it was a B name, and I was like, oh, it's Billie Holiday. I was like, oh no, that's not Billie Holiday. Because the Billie Holiday movie's coming out. And I was like, wait, who is it? What's his name?
There's a phonetically that was kind of similar. Buddy Holly, yeah. Billie Holiday. Number 8, person number 8 coming up. Who's this? This one should be easy, I think.
Yeah, this one. Very easy. Are you accepting just last names?
For this one, I didn't program it to take last names because I thought it would be. I was like, But yeah, full name. But the funny thing is, we have a really smart grading software that can extrapolate, close enough answers. But sometimes it has funny interpretations. It interpreted Malcolm X, who the answer is Malcolm X, as Malcolm the 10th, which I love it. That's fantastic. Everybody who submitted, it says 89%, but there's a couple teams not playing, so it's actually 100% of you guys got it right. Nicely done. Question number 9, person number 9. This is your last picture. Before I ask you what the theme is. Who is the person?
This is a shot in the dark, but I think I've got it.
Yeah, I mean that what's behind him is your biggest clue. That kind of narrows it down to a handful of people. That's the actor there is Ed Harris, and he is playing a NASA astronaut, as you can see. Which one? In the right stuff, he's playing John Glenn.
Ouch.
He's playing John Glenn. All right, so now here's where it all comes together. Hopefully you kept track of those 9 people, because I'm going to ask you, what is the theme of this round? What is the theme of this round? I'm going to give you 10 extra seconds to think it over. What ties these 9 people together? I'll say, while there's still some time, think outside of movies, maybe. One team has gotten it. One team has gotten it right so far.
I'm wrong on this, but
so far only one team got this right. So nicely done to that team. I believe I've never seen a movie. Dru, I came up with this category a while back, but I saved it for when you would be on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that you are a big Billy Joel fan.
Oh my!
All people mentioned in We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh my gosh!
All people mentioned in We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh my gosh!
That's why.
Yeah.
Now everybody feel free to sing it at home and just check, including Roy Cohn and. He says Rosenbergs. He says both, but that's why I could go to jail, Chris. Get it right next time, Andrew. So nicely done to I've never seen a movie who got it right. Let's check your standings as we head into our third round. We're at the halfway point of the game. We've got in third place. It's very tight with 14 points in third place. We got I never seen a movie on the backs of their Billy Joel knowledge, and tied for first with 15 points apiece. Just ahead of them, we got the producers and Sterling Cooper rolling daily bets. Dru, you're not that far out of the pack. Everybody's doing. You got 11.
Yeah, I'm 11, 7th place. I've been worse.
It's not really 7th place though, because there's a 13 and 12 ahead of you, and there's a bunch of teams. It's a very tight game. It's anybody's game, especially with the big bonus question at the end. That's going to bring us to our third round of the night, which is going to be your puzzle round. Third round is always your puzzle round. And for this one, I'm going back to a format that I debuted a couple weeks ago. It's Screen Scrambles. Screen Scrambles is your puzzle round this week. It's basically just anagram. It's an anagram of a title of a movie. So I've mixed up a movie's title, and I'm going to give you an actor from the movie, and you just name the movie. So all 8 of these are going to be a movie title. All right, Dru, you ready?
I think so.
All right, and you get a little extra time on this one. It's 30 seconds apiece for these ones as well. All right, your first puzzle is Soy Baths Ebb, starring Alec Baldwin. So unscramble that. Soy Baths Ebb, starring Alec Baldwin.
Baths Ebb.
This is another one where pen and paper might come in handy.
Yeah.
You can switch them around. Time is just about up.
Oh.
All right. Some teams were close. They knew baby was in there, but it's if you take all those letters and jumble them back in the right order, it's the boss baby. Boss baby.
I wrote baby boss.
Couple people wrote baby boss, but unfortunately those are the letters, but that's not the title.
Yeah. I mean, you're the boss baby, so we got to listen.
I am the boss baby.
Yeah.
I am the. I'll make my head very big to be the boss baby.
Great.
All right. Question number 2. Unscramble this puzzle with for the film title Deter Bank Story, starring Chris Pine. Deter Bank Story, starring Chris Pine.
I have no.
This is always the puzzle round is the tricky round.
I made up a title. I made up a title called Roy Dank Better. I don't know if that's a thing.
It's one of his indie releases.
Yeah.
That he makes. Well, some people knew that it was a Star Trek movie, but they couldn't make use of those last letters. Some people remembered Star Trek Beyond from a few years ago. Star Trek Beyond is your answer. All right, question number 3. Gee, I Love Moth, starring Chris Pratt. Gee, I Love Moth, starring Chris Pratt.
Gee, I Love Moth. Chris Pratt. He was in. Oh man.
I don't want to give away too much, but remember how the first one in the first puzzle I credited Alec Baldwin. I just credited Alec Baldwin. I don't want to get. I don't want to think. It was too obtuse of a clue. Actually, it wasn't helpful at all. Once I heard myself say it, I realized it wasn't helpful.
I got nothing.
What I was getting at was this was it's just voice work. It's just voice work. So this is the Lego Movie.
Oh, got it. Okay.
The Lego Movie. All right. Scramble it up. You get Lego Movie. And I also want to say this is about halfway through the game. Sometimes we experience some lag issues as lag starts to compound. If you're having lag issues where it feels like your timer is running very short compared to what you hear me saying, hit refresh your Twitch feed. It should help you close the gap on some of that lag. All right, question number 4. Fork Yon Swan Egg, starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay.
Fork Yon Swan Egg, starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Fork Yon. All right. No. What was the? I'm terrible at this round. I cannot.
I'm sorry. I always feel very guilty when I sabotage the guest with a hard round. We got 7 teams have gotten it right so far. If you look there, you got most of the word York in there. It's Gangs of New York. Gangs of New York.
Got it.
All right. Question number 5. We are halfway through this round already. This one, maybe I should. This is proving harder than I thought. I shouldn't have put a tougher one in. This is Flex and Dare a Nanny, starring Pernilla Allwyn. Flex and Dare.
Is Pernilla Allwyn scrambled? I don't even know who Pernilla Allwyn is. Oh no. Oh my gosh.
This is a hard one. I've gotten 2 teams got it so far. A lot of skips. Pernilla Allwyn. It is hard. This one is basically I required you to get it strictly on the anagram itself. This is Fanny and Alexander. Fanny and Alexander. So it was a hard one to be sure. Feel free to get angry in the chat. Unleash, go for it. Drew,
I've never even heard of this movie. I have never heard of this movie.
What would I go? Wait, hang on. What would I go to jail for? What are the charges?
I mean, I don't know, but flex and dare a nanny. There's some crime in the phrase "flex and dare a nanny." I'm sure they'll find something that they can pin on you to put you in jail for that.
I know they'll plant some evidence, some prosecutable evidence on me. Question number 6: Rude Form, Dr. Liam, starring Grace Kelly. Rude Form, Dr. Liam, starring Grace Kelly, and I'll point out the comma is not part of it. The comma I added because I like, punctuation. If I'm addressing Dr. Liam, I need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rude Form, Dr. Liam, starring Grace Kelly.
Oh, I think I got this one. Maybe. No, this is wrong. But I'm submitting it anyway. It doesn't even make sense.
You had one. You got one word out of it.
Yeah.
Though. You got murder. Correct. But it was Dial M. Dial M for murder.
Is Murder Most Foul even a movie that I said?
It has to be. That has to be because that's like a Hamlet quote, right? Drew, fall back on your Shakespearean, your love of Shakespeare. That's a Hamlet quote, right?
Murder Most Foul or Macbeth. I can't remember which one.
Oh yes, I think you're right. I think if Baz Luhrmann didn't do it though, did it? Who cares, right?
But Dial M for Murder. They actually said Dial M for Murder in Othello. That's actually what they said.
Dial Yon M. Question number. What number are we on here? This is number 7 of this round. Gut 3 Fish, Fix the Flute, starring Gillian Anderson. Gut 3 Fish, Fix the Flute. For this one, the colon is in the title of this one. You can also work outward from the actor listed.
I know what it's based on. I have no idea what the title is. I wrote the X-Files Beyond because that was what the Star Trek one was.
This one, the software did the Malcolm X things again, and it said the 10th Files. I will never not be charmed by that. It was the X-Files or the 10th Files, but the subtitle of it was Fight the Future. X-Files Fight the Future. And your last question of the puzzle round, your final screen scramble is All Pushy Mole Fans, starring Gerard Butler. All Pushy Mole Fans, starring Gerard Butler.
I really wish it was 003 starring Gerard Butler. That's what I really wish it would have been.
A couple teams have gotten it right.
I'm going to write, this is wrong, I think, but I'm going to write Phantom of the Opera because that's the only thing I can think of.
This was actually, this was a movie that it was like one of those like semi-Die Hard ripoffs that actually spawned 2 sequels. It's Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen. So that was a hard round. Sorry, everybody. I didn't think it would be quite as hard as that. I will give you more clues next time I use that puzzle format. So that brings us to our 4th round. Let's check your scores before we go into the final round of the night. We've got a 3-way tie for first place between the producers, Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts, and Chris. We've also got teams very close behind. We've got I've Never Seen a Movie with 16 points, the Turds and Han Sisters with 15 points each. So it's really really anybody's game. And if you feel like you're like way behind that, you're not necessarily, because the last question of the night is worth upwards of a 10-point swing. So you can get yourself right back in the game on that final question. Before I head into the final round of the night, I just want to mention the tip jar one more time. The game is totally free to play, but just a couple bucks from every player per game would really mean a lot. It would really go a long way. We have a Venmo button and a credit card button. You'll see those again at the end of the game, but that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And even more valuable, actually, is well, not more valuable. Money is incredibly valuable, but is word of mouth. Word of mouth. Getting if you know people who might enjoy this show and this game, let them know. We're always looking to build the audience. So your final round of tonight's game, I was inspired, Drew, by your Moulin Rouge love.
Great.
And the presence of John Leguizamo as Toulouse-Lautrec.
Mm-hmm.
It was Leguizamo, right? Leguizamo was Toulouse-Lautrec. Right.
Yeah, on his knees. Yeah.
So that's right. He was just like on his knees, like a high school play. No digital trickery. No Lieutenant Dan type digital.
No, that's why it's the best movie, because it's real. You know, it's a real movie. You know,
all in camera.
They wouldn't do that in these days. You know, they'd get canceled. I don't know.
Cancel to lose.
Yeah.
So your last round is all movies about painters. It's all going to be movies about painters. So I'd given a little nibble of this on Instagram yesterday, and I posted an image. So let's see what you know. There's some multiple choices in here, so I'm not going to leave you totally stranded having to know about painters. So question number 1, what actress earned an Oscar nomination in 2003 for her portrayal of Frida Kahlo?
There's 2003? Oh my God. 03.
Yeah. 02 is the movie. 03 is the nomination. Whenever I write about I'm never sure what's better, to write about the year the movie came out or the year that the award was handed out. She didn't win.
Yeah.
But she was nominated. Most people got this right. Nicely done. They remember the turn as Frida Kahlo from Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek. Actually, everybody who submitted got it right. 84%, but really 100%. All right, question number 2 is a multiple choice. Girl with a Pearl Earring, which I posted about on Instagram. A speculative account of the titular painting's creation, starred Scarlett Johansson opposite Colin Firth as which Dutch painter? Who did Colin Firth play? Did he play Rembrandt, Van Gogh, Vermeer, or Steen?
All right, it's between 2. This is like one of those Who Wants to Be a Millionaire 50-50 for me now.
Yeah.
I'm just going with gut here.
Your gut is correct, Drew.
Thank God. Thank God.
Good gut work. Excellent gut. It was. This is something I've gotten confused. Rembrandt, right? Was the other one that you were on the fence about? I'm assuming.
It was actually Steen, because I knew it wasn't Rembrandt and Van Gogh, but I didn't know of Vermeer or Steen. Yeah,
it was Vermeer. Was Vermeer is your answer. A couple people went with Rembrandt and Van Gogh. but the overwhelming majority knew it was Vermeer. So nicely done. Question number 3. The breakout role for Jeffrey Wright, who went on to appear in the James Bond and Hunger Games series, came in 1996 when he played what artist who had died 9 years earlier?
Ooh,
so you can name the artist. Name the artist I'm looking for. He played this artist 9 years after the artist had died.
Mine's a guess based on the years, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's yeah. We've got several teams correct here. Jeffrey Wright, he's coming back in James Bond eventually, whenever that movie comes out. His first big movie was playing Jean-Michel Basquiat. He played Basquiat in the movie of the same name. It was called Basquiat. All right. Question number 4 is multiple choice. Once again, what is unique about the Van Gogh focused film Loving Vincent? Was it shot entirely at Amsterdam's Van Gogh Museum? Is each frame an oil painting, over 65,000 in total? The audio track has no left channel, or it was funded by the sale of a painting in his Sunflower series?
I know this one because my parents love this movie. I mean, I don't even know how they watched it. I have no idea how to watch it, but it's on
Hulu, this movie, actually.
Oh, really?
I've seen some of it because it's on my list of best animated feature nominees to watch, but I've seen like some of it. It's a very interesting watch visually because your answer is every frame is an oil painting.
Mm-hmm. They
painted over and over the same can for each shot. They would start with a painting, and I think they shot footage of the actors. Maybe, I don't know,
something like that. Yeah, it was something. It sounded crazy. Like it sounded like such a time consuming.
The process is insane. And for each shot, they would paint over the same canvas until it was completely done. So each individual painting totaled like 65,000.
That's crazy.
All parents love Loving Vincent. I think
so.
That's fair.
My dad's favorite movie is Uncorked. Just throwing that out there. It's like a movie about the wine. It's like a wine movie about starring like Alan Rickman.
Oh yeah,
it's fine.
Oh yeah, isn't there art? I feel like Rickman did like a couple of wine movies because there was like a movie where like his son is kidnapped or something. He's a wine. I don't. It's like the guy. He loved his wine films. It spoke to him. All right. We're halfway through our final round. Question number 5. What 2015 movie? Looking for the title of the movie here. Drew some criticism for casting cisgender actor Eddie Redmayne as transgender painter and model Lily Elbe. Looking for the title of the movie. What 2015 movie drew some criticism for casting cisgender actor Eddie Redmayne as transgender painter and model Lily Elbe?
I was just talking about this movie the other day, and I cannot remember the title of the movie.
Oh no! Did you blanked on it?
Yeah, I blanked on it.
We
were talking about. Yeah,
you're on the right track. Girl is in the title, but it's the Danish Girl.
The Danish Girl.
We
were talking about that because he also played Stephen Hawking like a year later or something like that.
That's right.
Like it was like all within.
Yeah, he like broke out with like a bunch of Oscar baity biopic stuff.
Yeah.
And for this movie, Alicia Vikander won. She won. I think they were both nominated. She won for playing Lily Elbe's spouse, Gerda Wegener.
Right. And I never saw this movie, but I did watch Ex Machina, and she was so good in Ex Machina. And everyone was kind of like
those are like the same time. Where like, and then she did Tomb Raider. She kept that in to do Tomb Raider. All right. Question number 6 is also it's a multiple choice again. In 1965's The Agony and the Ecstasy, Charlton Heston plays Renaissance artist Michelangelo as he struggles to finish what famed work? Is it the David, the Pietà, the Madonna of Bruges, or the Sistine Chapel ceiling?
I'm just guessing here, but yeah.
Well, so far, everyone who's guessed has gotten it right.
Oh, nice. This is going to sound really. When I went to Italy, like in college, I went for a week in Italy, and the David is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it seems crazy, but it's mind blowing.
It's very tall, right?
It's huge.
Like, yeah.
And you just turn right, and it's just there, and it's lit up, and it's really insane. It's like
always weird. It's always weird when you see something that you've seen a million times in photos or in movies, and it's just like, oh, this is that. And especially something like that that's like 500 years old. Yeah. It's like, this thing has lasted this long. Okay, so everybody who submitted an answer got it right. These are all Michelangelo works, but only one of them was the subject of the Agony and the Ecstasy, and that is the Sistine Chapel, the Sistine Chapel ceiling. All right, and question number 7. We've got two more regular questions to go. Marcia Gay Harden won an Academy Award for her turn as abstract expressionist Lee Krasner in 2001. That's when she won the award. The movie was named after what other painter, who was Krasner's husband, played by Ed Harris? Again, a second appearance of Ed Harris.
Oh.
So what was the name of the movie in which she played in which she played Lee Krasner? Or the full name of the artist too. That's how I phrased it. So either one, but they're one and the same. It's a lot of correct answers coming in on this one too. The fact that she was an abstract expressionist might have tipped you off because her husband was as well. It's Pollock, Jackson Pollock. I also, side note, in researching this, since I had 2 Ed Harris questions, I found out this week that Ed Harris was born in the same hospital that I was. He was and raised in the town next to where I grew up in North Jersey. He's Ed Harris and I, if I ever meet him, will have that to say.
Yeah.
Just a little personal trivia for everybody out there.
I mean, you have to be only 2 steps away from Kevin Bacon then, because there's Apollo 13.
Right, Apollo 13, right there. I don't know what hospital Kevin Bacon was born in, though.
No,
all right,
me neither.
And the final regular question of the game: which of these actors has not played Andy Warhol in a movie? Michael Fassbender, David Bowie, Bill Hader, or Crispin Glover? I'm looking for the odd man out here who has not played Warhol
in a movie. Oh, this is tough. I'm going with gut here, but I don't know if that's right. No.
You can change it, Drew, if you have second thoughts. You have until the timer runs out to change your mind.
You know what? I'm going to do this because it feels weird to pick, even though I think this is wrong.
What'd you go with?
I went with David Bowie, which is like
Bowie was Warhol in the aforementioned Basquiat movie.
Okay.
Your answer, it's Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender has never played Andy Warhol. Bill Hader played him in Men in Black 3, and Crispin Glover played him in The Doors. But Michael Fassbender, sometimes when I have to come up with like who is not the thing, it's like writing an absence of a question. I just Googled skinny actors, and I was like, who would be like, who could be passable as Warhol?
Yeah, I mean, Michael Fassbender would be a great Warhol. I honestly picked David Bowie because it felt too obvious. Like David Bowie felt like,
nose. But he also played Tesla. I feel like he played like he played people of his like similar outlandishness.
Yeah,
and I feel because how is David Bowie going to play like just like a suburban dad? That would be like so disorienting.
The funniest thing that's ever happened is his duet with Bing Crosby. When there's a little scene at the beginning of it where they go like, "We don't agree on everything, do we?" He's like, "Not at all, Bing." And then they just start singing a Christmas song. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Is it to be a fly on the wall? If the walls could talk about David Bowie and Bing Crosby. All right, so that's your final regular question of the game. Let's take a look at the scores as we head into the final round. The final question: we've got a 2-way tie for first between the two teams that are regularly at the top, tied for first at 24. Chris and Sterling Cooper rolling daily bets, but right behind them, very close. I've never seen a movie, and the Turds with 23, the producers with 22, and it's truly anybody's game because in this last question, I'm going to ask you one last question that will incorporate elements. So try to remember the different themes of all 4 rounds tonight. It's going to incorporate at least 2 different themes from 2 rounds. And it's worth 5 points if you get it right, but it's worth -5 if you get it wrong. You don't have to bet. You can stand pat, hold on to your points, and skip the question. But if you want to gamble, then you go for it. All right, so your final question of the game. Tim Burton, director of Big Fish and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, helmed what 2014 biopic of Margaret Keane, a mid-century painter whose husband stole credit for her work? Once again, Tim Burton, director of Big Fish and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, helmed what 2014 biopic of Margaret Keane, a mid-century painter whose husband stole credit for her work? A lot of teams coming in with the right answer. People remember this movie, I suppose. While I'm waiting for that, I just want to point out that if you guys want a round all about me, I will give you a round. I will give you a round. That's just, I could do like a DVD collection, like what's on my shelf. What have I watched this week? All right. So this one, I mentioned Big Fish and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, calling back the other round with the shared words, because, and it's about a painter, obviously, because the movie has big in the title. It is Big Eyes. Big Eyes. It's the Tim Burton movie about Margaret Keane. All right. So, wow, nicely done. Very tight game. Let's see where everybody landed. We've got, it says 4th, but it's really 3rd. I want to call out Marley's Chains. They were just out of the 3rd place spot with 26. In 3rd place with 27, the Producers tied for 2nd with 28 points. I've never seen a movie. And the Turds, and bringing it home by 1 point. They held on to that lead and got to the top of the heap. 29 points. Your winners, Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Bets. Really good game. Excellent game, everybody. Dru, how'd you do? You ended up with
great,
but again, you are by yourself.
That's all true. I also the word jumble was the hard. I mean, my brain, when I looked at those letters, my brain just shut down. I did not know what to do.
That is the kind of round where like a team dynamic would really come in handy. You do need a couple sets of eyes on that. So
if I had another person. Yeah, if I also had another person on the team, they would be like, that's not Margaret Thatcher. That's Roy Cohn and Ethel Rosenberg. It's not Winston Churchill and Margaret Thatcher, you idiot. And I would have been like, that makes sense.
Well, Dru, thank you so much. It was great having you on. Come back anytime.
This is great. Thanks for having me, Chris.
And everybody check out Lapsus. It's you can rent it on any platform where you're renting it. And what was the other site that wasn't like Apple and
it's through Film Movement. So if you want to look for it, if you go to their Instagram or Twitter page, you can find a way to support local cinemas and like stream it through some local indie cinemas. Yeah, so like
that's so much better than giving the money to some massive conglomerate. That's wonderful.
So if you want to do that, it's a great way to view it through any number of local theaters that show indie movies. So that's great.
That is fantastic. Again, thank you, Dru. I had a great time talking to you. So everybody else, thank you for playing. I'm going to put this into post-game mode. You can check out your scores. And also, if you want to donate, throw in the tip jar. That would be great. So otherwise, stay safe. Watch some movies, and I will see you back here next Wednesday night for more movie quiz. Good night, everybody.